The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that?
Good morning. The Grand Bahama Power Company resorting to load shedding. Report says power supply should be stable by the end of the week. No decision yet on Valley Boys seed money. And as we told you, big changes for BPL. Alston named the chair. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, September 9th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, DeAndrew Cartwright with Life for Key School. I'm already talking about admissions for next school year for university. What you need to know now about that. And then later in business, we're talking about the upcoming Inspire Her conference. All the details about this women's conference in our 9 o'clock hour. That's ahead, but first it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, in the wake of persistent electricity outages on Grand Bahama, officials from the Grand Bahama Port Authority say they met with representatives from the Grand Bahama Power Company over the weekend. They're confident that rental generators on site at GBPC's plant should help to stabilize the island's electricity by the end of the week. GBPA, the Port Authority, in a statement issued yesterday, said the unreliable electricity supply does not meet the standard of service that Grand Bahama's electricity customers expect and deserve. GBPA President Ian Rolls saying reliable power is fundamental to the well-being of the community, saying that they met with the stakeholders at the plant on Saturday to get a clearer understanding of the issues impacting reliability of the service. He said that at that meeting, it was evident that the power company's team was working to repair generating units and bring them back into service. He said they saw that supplemental generating units are now on site, and they're assured that there will be additional power and much-needed stability to the island's electricity supply by the end of the week. The port said it directed the utility provider to communicate timelines and more detail that will help customers plan for potential power interruptions over the coming days until stability is returned to the grid. Investigations continue into a traffic accident. A man riding on a motorcycle died on West Bay Street last night. Chief Superintendent Christine Skipping saying that the victim was in his teens. She said the incident happened after 7 p.m. She said the driver of a black Ford Explorer who was traveling north on West Bay Street near Coral Drive turned on his left indicator signal to turn western into the Western Seaview parking lot. As he attempted to turn, he felt the impact of the front portion of his car and saw that a male operating a motorcycle traveling along the same corridor ran into a gate of a home on the western side of the street, resulted in him losing his life. Investigations again continue into that matter. A man drowned in the Coral Harbor Canal. This happened on Saturday. Police say they received reports of an unresponsive man floating in the canal off Gregory Street. The body was retrieved and he was pronounced dead. While there were no visible signs of trauma, an autopsy will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. A decision has yet to be made on the future of the now divided Valley Boys Junkanoo Group, or which faction will receive seed funding from the government. That's according to Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Boleg, who, speaking yesterday after meeting with both sides of the fractured group, he told reporters after the 2-hour session that it was a long deliberation. He said, quote, "The whole idea of this meeting was to see if we could have a united front with both sides of the Valley Boys could go on Bay Street as one. Sides they don't seem like they want to come together." He says there's another level of meeting that will take place, and that's with legal minds. He says once that's done, then the final decision will be made as it relates to both groups' appearance on Bay Street. Bolek says he hopes that the meeting will make a final determination on the matter and that will happen by Tuesday. And while Royal Bahamas Defense Force officers were preparing for deployment to Haiti as part of a UN multinational security mission, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell says the future of that mission is less clear. The mission, which has been in the works for months, was led by Kenya, which already has troops on the ground in Haiti. But in recent days, the United States has been considering transitioning the mission to a peacekeeping one, which would allow for more funding and resources. In an interview with the NASA Guardian yesterday, Mitchell said the management of the interoperational aspects have to be settled between the Kenyans and the other people who are participating and supporting the mission. Overseas from the U.S., as a grueling manhunt stretched into a third day today for a suspect in an interstate shooting that struck 12 vehicles and wounded 5 people, authorities are vowing to keep up a relentless search as the stress level remained high for a rural area in Kentucky where some schools canceled classes. Authorities have been searching a rugged, hilly area of southeastern Kentucky since Saturday evening when a gunman began shooting at drivers on Interstate 75 near London, a small city of about 8,000 people, some 75 miles south of Lexington. The search was temporarily suspended once darkness fell Sunday night, but was to resume this morning. 32-year-old Joseph A. Couch was named first as a person of interest and later as a suspect in the shooting after authorities said they discovered his SUV on a service road near the crime scene. They later found a semi-automatic weapon nearby that they believe was used. On Sunday, as another day of searching was ending without any sign of the suspect, a police spokesperson acknowledged the frustration that the law enforcement officers and people who live near the search are feeling. The number of people killed in overnight Israeli strikes in Syria has risen to 14, with more than 40 wounded. That's according to Syrian state media. Israeli strikes hit several areas in central Syria late Sunday, damaging a highway in Hama province and sparking fires. Reported by the National Hospital in western Hama province was 4. The news agency citing the hospital head said that 14 were killed and 43 wounded. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based war monitor, said at least 4 of those killed were civilians. One of the strikes targeted a scientific research center, and others struck sites where Iranian militias and experts are stationed to develop weapons in Syria. Local media also reported strikes around the coastal city of Tartus. A bridge collapsed and a bus was swept away by flooding today as more rain fell following a typhoon in Vietnam that caused at least 59 deaths in the Southeast Asian country. The system disrupted businesses and factories in the export-focused northern industrial hubs. 9 people died when Typhoon Yagi made landfall in Vietnam on Saturday before weakening to a tropical depression, and at least 50 others have died in the consequent floods and landslide. Levels of several rivers in northern Vietnam were dangerously high as well. A passenger bus carrying 20 people swept into a flooded stream by a landslide in mountainous Cao Bang province Monday morning. Rescuers were deployed, but landslides blocked their path. And Pope Francis receiving a raucous welcome today as he arrived in East Timor to celebrate its recovery from a bloody and traumatic independence battle, even as he indirectly acknowledged an abuse scandal involving its Nobel Peace Prize-winning hero. Timorese went to town from the airport waving Vatican and Timorese flags and toting yellow and white umbrellas, the colors of the Holy See. They shouted as he passed, "Viva el Papa!" The 87-year-old Francis seemed to relish the greeting, smiling broadly from the open-backed pickup truck and waving as he passed by billboard after billboard featuring his image, words of welcome. The overwhelmingly Catholic East Timor, one of the world's poorest countries, had eagerly awaited Francis's arrival, which came on the heels of the 25th anniversary of the UN-backed referendum that paved the way for independence from Indonesia. It was a far different atmosphere than when the last pope visited. St. John Paul II came in 1989 when Timor was still an occupied part of Indonesia and fighting for its freedom. After Timorese voted overwhelmingly for independence a decade later, Indonesia's military responded with a scorched earth campaign that destroyed 80% of the country's infrastructure and shocked the world. Overall, as many as 200,000 people were killed during the 24 years of Indonesian rule. In sports, famous sports legend Mark Knowles once again on the world stage in tennis, and once again he's taking Mark Marklin with him. The Bahamian connection led American Jessica Pegula to the U.S. Open Women's Championship match this Saturday, where she fell just short to number 2 Sabalenka of Belarus. Seeded 6, Pegula lost in straight sets to the second-seeded Sabalenka, 7-5 and 7-5 in the Women's Singles Championship, but had a remarkable run in the Grand Slam tournament in which she knocked off world number 1 Iga Swiatek of Poland in the quarterfinals and hadn't dropped a set in the Open until the semifinals. Overwhelmed in the final, dropping the straight loss inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. Read more about the Marks, though, in today's Guardian Sports section. On the men's side, Jannik Sinner started slowly the U.S. Open, dropping the first set he played after being exonerated in a doping case no one knew about until shortly before play began at Flushing Meadows. But the number 1 ranked Sinner beat Taylor Fritz of the U.S. 6-3, 6-4, 7-5. With his typical relentless baseline game to win the men's championship at Arthur Ashe Stadium on Sunday. Bahamian women's professional basketball player Jonquel J.J. Jones of the New York Liberty winning their 3rd straight game Sunday and have clinched now home court advantage in at least the first round of the playoffs. The Liberty knocking off the Las Vegas Aces 75-71 in Brooklyn, New York on Sunday. They've completed the regular season sweep of the 2-time defending WNBA champions. With the win, the Liberty improved their league win-loss record to 29-6, 3 games ahead of the Minnesota Lynx for the top overall seed going into the playoffs. With victories in their remaining 5 games, Liberty could tie the league record for wins in a season, 34 by the Aces last year. And the playoffs are heating up in the Bahamas Government Departmental Basketball Association. Exciting series of matchups over the weekend. You can read all about it in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys gave Dak Prescott everything he wanted. He intends to pay them back in full. Hours before the season opened, Prescott agreed to a $240 million 4-year contract with the Cowboys, making the quarterback the NFL's highest paid player, while giving him a chance to win a Super Bowl for a team he loves. Prescott is the first in league history to average $60 million per season. That's according to a person speaking to the Associated Press. The runner-up in NFL MVP voting was entering the final year of a $160 million 4-year contract that was a franchise record before this deal. It includes $231 million guaranteed, $1 million more than the record fully guaranteed deal Deshaun Watson signed up for with the Browns 2 years ago. Prescott was in his Cleveland hotel room getting ready to leave for Sunday's game against the Browns when his agent told him the deal was complete, and he went out and threw one touchdown pass while leading the Cowboys to an easy 33-17 win in their season opener. And the Miami Dolphins getting past the Jacksonville Jaguars in Miami 20-17. Before the game, though, drama. Tyreek Hill of the Dolphins handcuffed and placed face down on a street outside the team stadium after he was stopped for speeding and reckless driving Sunday morning before the Dolphins' first game of the season. An incident that left the star wide receiver baffled and resulted in a police officer being placed on administrative leave. The officer, who has not been identified, was one of at least 3 involved in detaining Hill. Some fans saw Hill being handcuffed and captured video on the way to the game, and it quickly went viral on social media. Miami-Dade Police Director Stephanie V. Daniels says she had launched an internal affairs investigation into the matter. Told after the game that the officer was placed on leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Hill said, quote, "That should tell you everything you need to know." That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your first look at weather for today, we've got tropical moisture that continues to stream across the islands, creating hot and humid conditions due to the combination of light to moderate warm east and southeasterly winds, along with moisture associated with the tropical wave in the Caribbean Sea. Meanwhile, a lingering frontal boundary north of the area is expected to sag southwards, enhancing shower and thunderstorm chances over the country. We've got a heat advisory in effect for the entire Bahamas. Boaters in the northern, northwest, and southeast Bahamas should be alert for possible waterspout activity. Beachgoers should exercise caution along Atlantic exposures, as there's a risk of rip currents. And everyone's being advised to remain hydrated, wear loose-fitting clothing and sunscreen, and take frequent breaks if you have to be out in the sun. Again, triple-digit heat indices expected, and high to extreme UV indices expected as well. Your forecast for today for the extreme northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama: partly cloudy, hot, and humid with isolated showers and thunderstorms this morning. Expect widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms by this afternoon. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, a mix of sun and clouds, hot and humid with showers possible, turning partly cloudy and widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms by tonight. For the central Bahamas, partly sunny, very warm and humid with isolated showers and thunderstorms through tonight. Pretty much the same for the southeastern islands today as well. Temperature-wise, we are looking at highs getting up to at least 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel a whole lot hotter than that, at least 108 Fahrenheit, 42 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit.
Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Back to school is around the corner. Move to the top of the class with this amazing Scotiabank Back to School credit card offer. You could win your share of prize money valuing $10,000 when you spend $150 or more on any Scotiabank credit card to purchase books, uniforms, technology items, or other academic items. 10 lucky customers will each win $2,000 in cash back towards their purchases. Promotion runs July 12th through September 30th, 2024. Drawing date is Friday, October 11th, 2024.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Deandra Cartwright will be joining us. Also this morning, we're going to be talking with Lifer Key School. It's already time. It's just September. School's just reopening, but it's time to be thinking about school, university if you're heading off for. If you plan on next year, this is the time to be acting. And you can be hearing a lot about that over the next few weeks. We're going to talk with one group this morning. and with some very valuable information. So you will want to pay attention to that in our 8 o'clock hour. Then in our 9 o'clock hour, our business hour, we're talking about the Inspire Her conference that's coming up in October. We'll get details about that. It's registration is open now for that. All the details about that coming up. So that's all ahead, but let's begin with what else is in the news. And in the news, electricity in the news. Quite a bit of stories about electricity, including Grand Bahama and what's happening there. You've heard Laverne Gardner tell us a lot about that over the past few days. They're having terrible, terrible power issues there and clearly load shedding. We'll get into that in just a bit. BPL also making news, having issues of their own regarding that. But as the NASA Guardian reported last week, the government's now finally announced that Christina Alston will be the head of the board at Bahamas Power and Light. The announcement contained in the list of the 139 government boards and committees, a revised list over the weekend. The NASA Guardian previously reported that Alston was expected to chair the board. Dylan Sawyer will serve as deputy chair. The remaining board members include Renika Knowles, a former PLP candidate, Patricia Clear, Anthony Farrington, Errol Davis, and Samuel Brown. Pedro Roll, the previous chair of BPL's board, is now the chairman of the Bridge Authority. Alston's appointment comes at a time of change at BPL. The government has announced that it's entering into a 25-year contract with Pike through its Bahamian management company, Island Grid Solutions, for the upgrade and management of the network. So there were some other interesting names on the list of board appointees, some questionable, but we're told that the list is going through revision, modification, and there will be an updated version as well. So is an article in today's NASA Guardian by Travis Cartwright Carroll about this. Other notable board appointments include Dr. Tracy Halkitis as chair of the Advisory Management Committee of the National Cancer Registry, Dr. David Allen as the chair of the Advisory Council on Crime, Senator Randy Roll as the chair of the Consumer Protection Commission, and Senator Darren Pickstock as chair of the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation, BAIC. Also on the board of BAIC is Philip Davis Jr. Southern Shores MP Leroy Major previously served as chair of BAIC. Elvin Taylor is now the chair of BTVI, Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute. And former PLP MP and Cabinet Minister Philip Galanis will continue to head the Bahamas Trade Commission. Tanya Pratt serves as chair of Bahamas Air, and Dwayne Davis serves as deputy chair. Chris Saunders will head the Clifton Heritage Authority. I think that is what he's doing now. And Dr. Trevor Lightburn will head the Citizenship Commission. All right. So, great. All right. So, we'll get to the Valley Boys in a bit. They had a meeting over the weekend, and in the same position now as I think they were before the meeting, it seems. But we'll give you an update on that in just a bit. So the big headline in the NASA Guardian, GBPC, that's the Grand Bahama Power Company, resorts to load shedding. The report says, though, that the power supply should be stable by the end of the week. Our Tanika Thompson writing about it. In the wake of persistent electricity outages on Grand Bahama, officials from Grand Bahama Port Authority said they met with representatives from Grand Bahama Power Company, GBPC, on Saturday and are confident that rental generators on site at GBPC's plant should help to stabilize the island's electricity by the end of the week. The Port Authority, in a statement issued yesterday, said the unreliable electricity supply does not meet the standard of service that Grand Bahama's electricity customers expect to deserve. Maybe for New Providence people, but not for Grand Bahama people. No. Now, GBPA President Ian Roll said in that statement, quote, reliable power is fundamental to the well-being of our community and the continued success of our island. We met with leaders at JBPC's plant on Saturday to get a clear understanding of the issues currently impacting service reliability and the plan for remediation. At that meeting, it was evident that the JBPC team units and bring them back into service. We saw that supplemental generating units are now on site and are assured that they will provide additional power and much-needed stability to the island's electricity supply by the end of the week. The port said that it directed the utility provider to communicate timelines or communicate timeliness, and more detail that will help customers plan for potential power interruptions over the coming days until stability is returned to the grid. And this is our role, we gather. He said, quote, we will continue to monitor GBPC's progress over the next few days and have stressed the need to resolve the issues as quickly as possible. As utility regulator, oh boy, rubbing the salt in the wound there, as that is a contentious issue. But anyway, as a utility regulator, we have a responsibility to the residents and businesses of the island to ensure dependability of the essential services, including electricity, at fair and reasonable rates. We remain committed to working with the Grand Bahama Power Company to ensure both reliability of service and stability of rates. Well, as you heard, the Davis administration has argued that the JBPC is regulated by IRCA, the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority, and not by the port. Over the weekend, the power company came under fire for the frequent outages. In a statement released Friday, Minister of Grand Bahama Ginger Moxie said the situation had reached an unprecedented level and needs immediate action. She said, she's also the Member of Parliament for Pine Ridge, that, quote, our residents are justifiably frustrated as the current service continues to fall short of basic expectations. Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, and he is the F&M representative, saying that the frequent power cuts solidify why GBPC's electricity rate should not be increased. In a letter sent to the power company on Friday, Thompson said residents in East Grand Bahama have experienced multiple power outages, some lasting for several hours, without warning or explanation. He said the issue has been ongoing for months. He said, quote, these outages have disrupted our daily lives, caused inconvenience, and resulted in financial losses. The quality of service provided by you has been consistently below standards. Meanwhile, West Grand Bahama and Bimini MP Kingsley Smith saying in a statement Friday that Grand Bahamians are owed an explanation about why the power company's service has fallen short. He questioned if the company has enough equipment or adequate funding to source the resources that it needs to power Grand Bahama. He said, quote, we deserve better. In fact, we demand better. In a press release issued on Friday, the power company acknowledged that the recent power cuts on Grand Bahama have had significant impact on both residential and commercial operations and customers. The power company said the ongoing challenges with the largest generator at its Peel Street power station created a temporary supply issue, leading to load shedding. The statement from GBPC said, quote, we are actively working to manage these disruptions and restore stability as quickly as possible. It said that it had secured more rental generators that are currently being installed to increase its power generation capacity while repairs are underway, and that teams are working around the clock to ensure the solution is implemented swiftly. As you will recall, this all comes as GBPC is seeking a 6.3% increase in the base rate for electricity. 2 years ago, the company was granted approval by the Port Authority at the time for a 3.4% increase to the base rate. Prime Minister Philip Davis has said there is no justification for another rate increase. Meanwhile, a legal fight is underway in the Supreme Court regarding GBPA's rights under the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement, the legislation which created and governs the Port Authority. The Port Authority has previously said that it has yet to approve any increase and will review the power company's request and engage with stakeholders over a 45-day period before making a determination on December 1st. Okay, let's get your reaction to all of this. We're hoping our friends in Grand Bahama will call in. You can call on our toll-free line, 242-300-5720. or you can call us on the regular lines, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. What do you make of this situation here? Want to let you hear what Fred Mitchell, the PLP chairman, is saying about this as well. You know, he has been taking the Port Authority to task on everything, and he had quite a bit to say last week about the challenges with GBPC, the power company. Take a listen to this. We got that audio for you right now.
Opposes the assertion that the Grand Bahama Port Authority has the jurisdiction to deal with a rate increase. The people in Grand Bahama are being badly served by the power company. I just spoke to a businessman last night. His hotel has been off 4 or 5 times during the last week. This is supposed to be a super modern company that was supposed to have brought all this stuff to a halt. They're now apologizing because they don't have the power supply which they can offer to Grand Bahama. So
Okay, so we're having some issues with that audio. You want to try it again? Let's try it one more time from the top with Fred Mitchell speaking about the issues in Grand Bahama and the power company.
Opposes the rate increase, opposes the assertion that the Grand Bahama Port Authority has the jurisdiction to deal with a rate increase. The people in Grand Bahama are being badly served by the power company. I just spoke to a businessman last night. His hotel has been off 4 or 5 times during the last week. This is supposed to be a super modern company that was supposed to have brought all this stuff to a halt. They're now apologizing because they don't have the power supply which they can offer to Grand Bahama. So disgrace after disgrace, and they're being supported by the Grand Bahama Port Authority. So, 0 plus 0 is 0, and 0 minus 0 is 0, and it's 0.
Settle. Okay, a lot of zero. What was going on in the background there? What was that? Good Lord. Anyway, okay. So, this is not good. Again, Laverne was telling us last week, we've had that. She's been with us live from Grand Bahama a couple of times where the power went off while she was on air with us. And she was praying that on Thursday the power wouldn't go off because it was off a lot the day before. And she's been messaging me every day to tell me how often the power is off, and it's a lot. And it's making what we go through in New Providence look like child's play, to tell you the truth. It's terrible. Let's hear what you have to say about it. We'll get to your messages as well. You can continue to call us, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, Dwight. I mean, those names you was calling off this morning, right? For those boards. What come across to me is these are just the continuance of managers of the status quo.
What?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Dwight. Because what is these people who already then been around the globe? I mean, when it comes to employment in the Bahamas, right? And we'd see nothing what they did when they was young. Some of them, because some of them then old and then retire, right? What is this they bring in? What is this they bring in to the table that they didn't leave to the table when they was there, right? What is this? Mm-hmm. It seems like it's just just if you listen to all those names, it's just friends, family, and lovers, right? We will never ever be no better in this country for the same way, because we are not interested in looking for people who really could make a difference in this country in any part of in any aspect, right? Our leaders only look for people they could trust, not people who are qualified to bring something different to the beam and people at large, these people, the only qualification they have is because they are affiliated with the leaders. And we have to move away from that, man, because some of these people, they didn't retire a couple times.
I don't know if it's the only qualification, but being close seems to help. Yes.
Yeah, well, I meant right. I meant that's the number one, what you call it. Let's put it like that. That is the number one qualification, because if failing to have that qualification, it doesn't matter what else you are qualified, you can't get the job if you don't have that particular qualification, Dwight. Have a nice day.
Okay, all right. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Call in 323-6232. Call 325-4316 or 325-4259. Toll free 242-300-5720. Tweet us. Facebook us. Text us 422-4796. This texter here says, good morning all. With the additional generators and solar power plants online, it's still not enough without the main engines functioning. Okay. This person says here, this is about the boards again. What exactly is their vision in reference to the individuals who got positions on the boards? Is it, or is it just political favors and handouts? Hey, yeah. When you say that there are some interesting names on the list, what exactly do you mean? Okay. Hey, exactly what is that? Hey, that's all I can say. Anyway, we are supposed to have our BPL bill doubled and be subjected to the power outages we've had in. This is from somebody from Grand Bahama. What are you saying? We are supposed to have our BPL bills doubled and be subjected to the power outages we've had in New Providence. I don't recall any of our MPs writing to BPL or speaking out as the Grand Bahama MPs are doing. Am I missing something, or have I missed something? Well, yeah, you are missing. This is the same texter who said, what do I mean by the names are interesting? So you must be new to the Bahamas. Welcome. We hope you enjoy your time here. They won't speak out against BPL because BPL is a government utility. Grand Bahama Power Company is a private company. So they will criticize private companies. Oh, yeah, but they won't say anything bad about not our good, precious BPL. No. You'll need to be barely. I don't even know if the opposition does it much. They'll ask questions like what's happening. They won't speak in the harsh tones that you might have heard with some of those about GBPC. But that's how things work in the Bahamas. Yeah. And yes, the names are very interesting. In fact, I didn't read off one that's there. Clearly, that list came up before certain matters hit the courts. And so there's some strange names on that list. Strange. But we're told it's being revised. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Yes, let me say, you launched in 2012, right?
We did.
Okay. In 2015 or 2014, 2015, a law was passed concerning who had the power to regulate the Grand Bahama Power Company. In July of 2015, the Grand Bahama Power Company actually challenged IRCA authority to regulate them. And that case stayed in court straight up till today. I would assume it's been dismissed when the new law was passed. So you'd kind of think, going back to 2015 to now, that's what, 9 years, plus years, that we would be able to determine who really had the right. I mean, really think it takes 9 years, even in the courts, to basically find out who holds the position, the authority to regulate one over the other. So one has to question the legitimacy or the sincerity of the government or for the Grand Bahama Port Authority to have this resolved. I mean, clearly they could both accelerate this into the court system to get a determination going back to 2015. The point I make is that, energy is primarily the economic development barometer for the 21st century. And here in Grand Bahama, we actually owe an apology to New Providence based on what the performance we've gotten over the last couple of weeks. All the times we laughed at you guys and joked and everything. 3 times yesterday for myself. I've spoken to small
3
businesses.
times?
Yes.
How long each time?
An hour or more.
Oh, boy.
And I've been and spoke to small businesses who says it's been impacted. Believe it or not, even a major brand such as Domino's, and who couldn't even, most of their facilities that happen online, who couldn't take any orders for just pizza and other things because of the disruption of power and the internet services. So it is having an impact on businesses, more so the small businesses, for individuals, whether they take credit cards or whether they depend on the internet type environment because no power, no anything. And I think, Dwight, I would tell you, for New Providence as well as for Grand Bahama across the Bahamas, the only resolution for this is to take our power back. And what I mean by that, if you notice what Grand Bahama Power has done, what BPL has done, they have made no allocation in the purest sense for self-generation in a way that allows you to generate your power during the daytime, send it to the grid, and get it back at night. They've kept an environment to make it hard for individuals to get solar because then you'd have to get a battery pack that could put 10,000 or more into the actual cost of your solar. But I think the definition is net metering. None of that's the correct one. But essentially, Dwight, imagine that you use 50 kilowatts during the day on average, right, with your AC burning. You could get a 100 kilowatt system that could generate the 100 kilowatts during the day, cover your 50 kilowatts consumption, and send the 50 kilowatts to the grid, and the power company would return that to you with a nominal fee for the use of the grid. And that is what we need because there's thousands of roofs and places around New Providence and Grand Bahama that can actually allow individuals to participate in bringing down our energy costs. I'm not going to keep it long, but let's say this right. On Grand Bahama, we have a contract with the utility grade solar, who has an agreement to sell power for under 10 cents per kilowatt to the power company, and they have a 25-year agreement. So the question is, if they could generate and sell for 10 kilowatts when we're paying 40, almost 50 cents, then why can individuals themselves generate the power and then solve the need of bringing down the energy costs as well as get an abundant supply so we could accelerate growth in the digital economy?
But are you saying that the government or the power companies should provide folks with the solar and all the equipment they need?
No, you don't. Let me explain something just quickly. If the government create the regulations to allow for this net metering, right, or whatever the definition is, and the ERCO would then you do it. You have thousands of people in New Providence who would spend $5,000 to get themselves off the grid. Why? Because they don't need to put the extra 10 or 15,000. Banks will be more apt to finance a $5,000 loan for a homeowner versus a $15,000 loan, and knowing that if they were paying hundreds of dollars a month for electricity, their costs would become reduced right down to just the monthly payments for the solar system and a small fee that they're paying. So let's say you're paying $1,000 a month. Their electricity bill is probably down about $150, $200, including the payment to the
isn't this happening already? This is happening here in New Providence, isn't it?
No, they're allowing you connect. But the way our system is set up, you heard me spoke about this, the Bahamas government itself, without growing the economy, depends on a carbon tax system for its revenue. And so when we have this conversation about energy independence in the purest sense, if you look at the whole concept of what they're trying to do with BPL, it's not about bringing power down. It's about sustaining the status quo in a new incarnation of whatever arguments they make. But Dwight, I would ask you, if you could pay $50 a month for a solar system, say you're financing, or $100 a month for your financing, to get rid of your electricity bill, will you?
Definitely. I mean, I'm
okay,
hearing people
so now,
saying their
multiplied
bill is...
multiplied by the thousands of roofs on New Providence across the Bahamas and on Grand Bahama. But we're not having a conversation in the proper context of solving our energy problem. We're trying to find how do we put lipstick on this pig to say it's more attractive.
Right.
And so we must have a conversation of energy in the 21st century in the context of what we could deliver. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. I don't know. I think some people are already doing this, and I don't think they really are concerned about what impact it has on BPL. They're only thinking about themselves, and I think I agree with them. But people have done that. They have the bare minimum they can get from BPL, and they're paying $5 to $20 a month, and are relying mainly on their solar. I don't know if that's different from what you're talking about, C. Allen, but that sounds great. And who cares what impact it has on BPL? It's your pocketbook that we're talking about here that you need to be concerned about. Am I wrong? Is that selfish? Oh, well, too bad. DeAndre Cartwright, welcome. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Dwight Strachan.
Hi. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air. Are you there?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Strachan. How you doing?
Doing well.
And good morning, Ms. Cartwright.
Morning.
Mr. Strachan, I don't feel as if that solar thing will ever come to fruition, whereas solar becomes something that we all get into to reduce our electrical costs, because the government is depending on the money that we pay for electricity.
How will they stop you?
I didn't hear you.
How will they stop you?
Well, I think like C. Allen was talking, by making it difficult, by making it expensive, by putting it out of the affordability of the average Bahamian citizen.
So they're going to make it, because they already dropped the prices on a lot of things already. So they're going to raise prices, as you're trying to say?
Well, I'm not
I mean,
sure
if we sit back and allow that to happen, we're very foolish.
But I know that you had, I think you had individual on before.
Yeah.
And the cost that they was giving out to solarize a home is way beyond the average individual could afford nowadays.
But much lower than it used to be.
But it's still, that may be the case, Mr. Strong, but it's still above the reach. You know what I mean? Bring it down. You know what I mean? Bring it down so everyone could afford it, or put it where everyone could finance it.
Yeah. Well, the issue now isn't so much the government. That's just the cost. But again, you make up.
Mr. Strong, but if you're a government who is about energy, all this talk about sustainable energy and bringing down energy costs, I mean, wouldn't the government make it a point to have those things done? Doesn't the government control the rates and stuff in this country? Can the government exempt certain things and make certain things?
That's what I'm saying. A lot of that has happened.
Yes,
so a lot is duty free, or the duty is very low. So it's not about the government; it's the actual cost. And so, unless you're saying we should become a manufacturing hub, which is a great idea, then the government can definitely do that. Now, would the government ever be minded to do that? That's another story.
Yes, sir. Well, I know one thing for sure, Mr. Strong, is that they're not interested in really bringing down the amount of money that we pay for electricity monthly, sir. That's something that they peg on. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that they depend on. But, Mr. Strong, the word status quo came up twice. I think Allen used it under caller who called about the boards and stuff. He also used it. And, Mr. Strong, like, we live in a society where we must bring meritocracy in, Mr. Strong. When they elect those individuals, those boards, they're not doing it because those individuals are experts. They're not doing it because those individuals are going to bring innovation. They're doing it because those individuals, like they said before, are going to maintain and sustain the status quo. When they hire individuals for those posts, Mr. Strong, it's all about boosting an individual's ego and making them feel as if that they are because the job does not benefit the public in any way. You know, the kind of way you have individuals who sit in offices all day long and do absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? Because they're not doing anything to improve the organizations that they have been appointed to. Nothing. And I mean, so we sit back, Mr. Strong, and we observe this thing year in and year out, and we just like feel as if like that's the way life is in the Bahamas. You know what I mean? But see, Mr. Strong, like I said before, like I said on Harvard Show, I think it was Friday when he had Mr. Roll on, we must support ideas and individuals, Mr. Strong, that can benefit the country. Because like I told them on Friday, sometimes individuals sit in offices, right, where their job is to facilitate ideas or facilitate individuals that can benefit other people. You know what I mean? Because if you come to me, Mr. Strong, with an idea that can bring sustainable jobs to hundreds or maybe thousands of persons inside this country, and I do not facilitate you, right, those individuals suffer because of my failure to do my job. You understand where I come from, Mr. Strong? So you see, it's not a jokey matter. We have individuals in these government departments who are absolutely lousy. Miss Belinda Wilson used the word, and I think incompetent. You know what I mean? We have a competency issue, she said. And we, Mr. Strong, I mean, and I sit back and persons like yourself, who's supposed to be, not who's supposed to be, but I can hear that you are intelligent, Mr. Strong. You present yourself that as if you are truly concerned about the country and making it a better place. But individuals like yourself, like we don't hear from them. I mean, they have to be witnessing these things. Do they have to understand that when they elect these individuals, these boards and these corporations or whatever the case be, they don't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't do anything, Mr. Strong. So, I mean, we need to really, some kind of we need some voices, we need some people to come together and start to demand some type of thing, man, because this thing can't continue to go on, man, Mr. Strong. They say evil continues as long as good people sit back and do nothing. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, sir. So what have we been doing for decades in this country? Voting? Every 5 years?
Well, unfortunately, the majority of the people in the country are only looking at the board list to see if their name is on it. And otherwise, that is the only time they complain, when they don't see theirs. But that's how it is. But I mean, what do you really expect a board to do something? We've seen where boards are doing things and what happened to the people on that board, right? It ends up in the court because the board is doing something the minister or the directors of the public corporation did not approve or like.
But that's not the case with every board. Are we saying that every board and committee is in itself either questionable, ineffective, or engaging in activities beyond the scope of their TORs? I don't know. But going off of the...
Yes.
Yes.
Or nothing at all.
Oh, goodness. I will say, I was reviewing...
But I mean, this is the most I even wanted to talk about a board, because that's just, what does that do? Why?
Okay,
What's the point of talking about it? Will anything change anywhere?
Well, I think it helps that the powers to be actually will appreciate more that people are paying attention to these things. Now, will that change anything? Who can say? But I wanted to actually just touch on the makeup of some of these boards and committees and say that some of them, I can't speak for all of them, but some of them actually have folks that are making waves inside the respective areas. So I don't, while a lot of quality points have been made about, some certain persons sitting on these entities that may not have expertise in those areas, some of these boards and committees actually have people with expertise that are trying and have been trying for quite some time. I find it shocking, actually. I love my numbers, so I want to actually go through each one and be like, okay, expertise. So it's like 10% expertise sitting on this board. Like that's going to be my little project for the rest of the month. So far, it doesn't look like it's going to ever be balanced out. But hey, I just want to see with the appointments, are we really relying on expertise and to which percentage rate? And then I think
10 will be high.
Listen. And then I think on one of them, I saw more of a religious balance than a medical or clinical balance, when honestly, that particular entity could benefit more from medical, clinical. But then again, culturally, we tend to rely more on our religious side than medicinal and clinical, our scientific side.
Yeah.
But maybe let's not start that conversation this morning.
Let's take one more call before we have to take a break. Okay. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. Pleasant day to you both.
Hi, good morning.
I have a question for you as I start off. Does each radio station have anchors, several anchors, and the roles of the anchors and the function of the anchors, news anchors? Because some of these matters that are being aired in the talk show, perhaps our anchors could dig deeper in terms of the investigative journalism and also have them meet the press and see what's going on.
I mean, of course, that's how it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you see, it's because I'm normally following a lot of international news. That's the reason why the thought came with me over the weekend. Now, regarding BPL and utilities. Now, if my car is working well service and all of that, and I'm getting a certain amount of mileage from one fuel station or one brand, and I realize that my mileage is getting less and less from that particular brand, then I have options to perhaps try another fuel station to see, another brand to see if I will get more mileage from that other fuel station consistently on a full tank of gas and so on, and my usage. We don't have that situation with our power service. So what I have done, I noticed my bill was out of range for several months, and I decided I will cut back because I always been monitoring utilities way back from 2000. Keep the record of it, the amount of what do you call it, kilowatt you use per month and all of that. And I have not yet seen a reduction, so I'm hoping this time around I will see it because actually we are sacrificing and suffering since I'm the one paying and I'm being paid. And not everybody is being paid weekly, as in cases WEEK, but WEAK. So if your income is restricted and limited, then you cannot afford to have your expenses getting higher and higher. So yes, we need real good competition, and in that competition, perhaps we may need another utility company.
Oh boy, well, don't hold your breath on that one. But I hear you. Thank you very much. I mean, it's not common to have a different options for electricity utility companies. Yes, telecommunications definitely, but we just need less government interference. That would be the number one, number two, and number three way to turn things around. Less government interference.
I think we need to unpack that even more.
One more call, and then we got to go to a break. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Are you there? All right. So, C. Allen sending me a message to explain what he was saying. He's saying the people that have been able to afford the battery for off-grid, the method I spoke about removes the need for battery storage as the power company acts as the battery. The difference between a solar system with a battery and one without a battery is 10,000. So you get a system for 5,000 without a battery and send the extra energy to the grid and get it back at night. Without that system, you have to get a $15,000 battery. Okay, yeah, like what they do in Hawaii, I guess you're talking about. All right, sure. Yeah, all right. Let's go to the break. We'll pick this up on the other side, and we'll touch on the Valley Boys and what's going on with that as well. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Please, 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 don't prove I'm right. Please, 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 don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you don't embarrass me, little sucker. Please, please, please. I have a fun idea, babe. Maybe just stay inside. I know you're craving some fresh air, but the ceiling.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
Let's get your first look at traffic in for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. I've got another busy morning for you out there on the streets of New Providence, looking like a challenging morning for many of you. Let's start from east to west. We've got Eastern Road, heavy traffic well east of San Souci, straight through to Johnson Road if you're heading westbound. And it's going to be slow moving even after you get past Johnson Road this morning. Bernard Road, also busy for you near the schools in the area if you're heading westbound. And, of course, Prince Charles Drive, heavy traffic at the major intersections, including near Elizabeth Estates and near Fox Hill Road backed up a bit. And then especially on the way to Beatrice Avenue and Soldier Road and Robinson Road. Heavy westbound traffic for you, especially on Robinson between Soldier and just west of Old Trail. Soldier's going to be busy for you northbound straight through to Village Road. And we're seeing issues at Old Trail and near Windsor Place if you're on Soldier Road. Then we have East Street and Soldier Road. We're seeing heavy traffic there. And Independence Drive, as has been the case for the past few days, backed up in both directions, east and westbound between the roundabouts at East West Highway and at Blue Hill Road, East Street. So those two. Then we've got Carmichael, heavy traffic eastbound to Blue Hill Road and Independence Drive, as we said, both directions. Then Milo Butler Highway, well south of Bellot Road, you're going to be seeing that heavy northbound traffic straight through the Fire Trail roundabout and straight through to Tawny-Williams-Darling Highway, picking up again near Sports Center Road and at the Six-Legged roundabout. JFK Drive eastbound on toward the Six-Legged roundabout, looking busy for you. Gladstone Road also seeing slow-moving traffic at this hour, northbound mainly. Those are your hot spots. There's more. We'll tell you more about that after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you. And time for another check of your weather, brought to you by the Hit Spot. We've got tropical moisture that continues to stream across the islands, creating hot and humid conditions due to the combination of light to moderate warm east and southeasterly winds, along with moisture associated with the tropical wave in the Caribbean Sea. Meanwhile, a lingering frontal boundary north of the area is expected to sag southwards, enhancing shower and thunderstorm activity across the country. Got another heat advisory in effect for the whole Bahamas, and boaters in the northern and northwest and southeast Bahamas should exercise caution as there's a risk of waterspout activity. For today, partly cloudy, hot and humid, showers and thunderstorms possible this morning, especially for the northern Bahamas and the northwest Bahamas, turning partly cloudy with widely scattered showers and thunderstorms by this afternoon. Temperatures getting up to around, well, at least 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. But the heat index will be a factor today and make it feel like it's at least 108 Fahrenheit, 42 Celsius. In your extended outlook for Tuesday, partly cloudy to cloudy, a bit breezy. Wednesday, cloudy, hot and humid in the northern and northwest Bahamas, variably cloudy and a bit breezy in the central and southeast islands. And then Thursday, partly cloudy to cloudy. Got a couple areas in the tropics we're watching. We'll tell you more about that in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. Morning Blend Traffic weather brought to you by the Hit Spot. Have a Japanese import vehicle and no longer to listen to Guardian Radio? Well, the Hit Spot is offering a $79.99 special, VAT included. And that includes your band extender equipment and installation during the month of September. Mention this ad for that discounted rate. That's at the Hit Spot on Soldier Road.
Jump in your Japanese import and you turn the radio on. All you hear is... For the month of September, the Hit Spot will install a band extender in your Japanese import for the discounted rate of only $79.99, VAT included. Get your band expander installed today at the Hit Spot and listen to
Star 106.5.
Plus, get fresh news and smart talk on
Guardian Radio 95 Bahamas.
Hey guys, this Friday, September 13th, Dunkin' is celebrating you on Customer Appreciation Day. On this special day, we're honoring our beloved founder, George Myers, in the sweetest way possible. All day, with every drink purchase, you'll get 5 free munchkins, George's favorite treat. Thank you for being part of the Dunkin' family. So, mark your calendar for Friday, September 13th. Swing by Dunkin' and grab your favorite drink and enjoy 5 free munchkins on us because we appreciate you. Offer valid only on Friday, September 13th. Thank you for choosing Dunkin'.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now at 8:23, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. We've got tropical moisture that continues to stream across the islands, creating hot and humid conditions due to the combination of light to moderate warm east and southeasterly winds, along with the moisture associated with the tropical wave in the Caribbean Sea. Meanwhile, a lingering frontal boundary north of the area is expected to sag southwards, enhancing shower and thunderstorm chances across the country. Got another day and another heat advisory for the entire Bahamas. Boaters in the northern and northwest Bahamas, as well as the southeast Bahamas, should be alert for possible waterspout activity. And beachgoers should exercise caution along Atlantic exposures due to rip currents. And with the UV indices expected in the high to extreme range and the heat advisory, with the heat index in the triple digits, everyone's being advised to limit outdoor activities and to stay hydrated. For today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, we're looking at partly cloudy, hot and humid conditions, a mix of sun and clouds, intermittent showers. Today, turning partly cloudy with widely scattered showers and thunderstorms by tonight, this afternoon to tonight. For the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny, very warm and humid, isolated showers and thunderstorms through tonight. Temperatures today getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, but the heat index will make it feel like it's 108 Fahrenheit, 42 Celsius, or even more. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 79 Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Tuesday, partly cloudy to cloudy, a bit breezy to breezy. Wednesday, cloudy, hot, and humid in the northern and northwest Bahamas, variably cloudy and a bit breezy in the central and southeastern islands. And Thursday, partly cloudy to cloudy. That'll hold through to the end of the week. In the tropics, we're watching a few areas. We've got an area of low pressure producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms over the central tropical Atlantic. That system now has a 70% chance for development through the next 7 days as it moves towards the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. We've also got a trough of low pressure several hundred miles west-southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. That's producing a broad area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. That system has a medium, about 60% chance of formation through the next 7 days as it moves towards the west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And we've got a potential Tropical Cyclone 6. This disturbance is expected to become a tropical storm today, increasing risk of life-threatening storm surge and hurricane-force winds along the Louisiana and upper Texas coast by midweek. As of 5 o'clock, that system was about 295 miles south-southeast of the mouth of the Rio Grande, or about 535 miles south of Cameron, Louisiana. That system moving towards the north-northwestern 5 miles per hour. A slow northwestward to northward motion is expected over the next day or so, followed by a faster motion to the northeast beginning late Tuesday. On the forecast track, the disturbance is expected to move just offshore of the northern Gulf of Mexico through Tuesday and approach the Louisiana and upper Texas coastline on Wednesday. That is your morning blend weather check, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. And time for another check of traffic, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. Again, the street's looking pretty busy. A number of hot spots to tell you about. From west to east, we've got Carmichael Road, seeing some slow-moving westbound traffic as you make your way to Coral Harbor Road. And then we've got Carmichael near the junction with Milo Butler Highway, heavy eastbound traffic, but that area is looking congested from a number of different positions, east and westbound, especially near Faith Avenue as well. Just a very congested area. Then Carmichael is busy well west of Fire Trail if you're heading eastbound. It's not looking pretty out there. St. Vincent Cowpen eastbound also busy for you to get to Blue Hill Road, and Blue Hill Road is going to be a hot spot straight through to Independence Drive, especially north of Soldier Road. Independence Drive traffic backed up in both directions, east and westbound. Back over to Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic well south of Bellet Road, straight through the Fire Trail roundabout and up through to Tawny Williams Darling Highway if you're heading northbound. And then it's going to pick up again for you as you make your way toward the six-legged roundabout. So straight through Sports Center Road and the roundabout there to the six-legged roundabout, and you're going to be seeing heavy traffic northbound and eastbound on JFK Drive, southbound on New Providence Highway, and on the Farrington Road side as well, mainly southwestbound there. West Bay Street's going to be busy as you approach that roundabout with New Providence Highway if you're heading eastbound. And then again into downtown Nassau near Nassau Street, slow-moving traffic there for you. Nassau Street busy at the intersection of Boyd Road and Meadow Street as well. And then, of course, is Prince Charles Drive, Robinson Road, just not a pleasant place to be if you're heading westbound, especially near Beatrice Avenue and into Robinson from Soldier Road, a number of hot spots, especially Village, Wolf, and Bernard Road. Good luck this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Get ready for a night you simply won't want to miss. For the first time in over 40 years, experience an evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruiseport on Saturday, October 5th. Tickets are on boxevents.com or go to the Nassau Eddie on Stage, Franchon, Gino D, Ira Store, and the Higher Level Band. An evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruiseport, Saturday, October 5th. Get your tickets now.
Maybe it's time to explore your options. There's no harm in reviewing your mortgage arrangement and considering a better deal. CIBC Caribbean can help you narrow your search and decide. Switch your mortgage to CIBC Caribbean and enjoy a special interest rate and help towards your switching cost. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/inspired home for more information. Conditions apply.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Are you ready to be inspired? Get ready for the event of the year. Inspire Her 2024 is back and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Get tickets now in the Alive Events app Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available. Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference, October 10th. See you there.
Do you know a fisher who braves the seas every day, bringing home a catch that feeds our communities? Nominate them now for the Anchor Awards, a night dedicated to celebrating the unsung heroes of our waters. On November 16th at the Bahama Resort, we're shining a spotlight on those who make waves, both big and small. Visit the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources Facebook page and click on the link provided to submit your nomination. Let's give our fishers the recognition they deserve. Anchor Awards 2024.
Don't shop at Sherwin-Williams then. Don't get the best service in the Bahamas then.
The love is really, really strong in Sherwin-Williams. We don't just sell paint. We service you with a smile, good hearts, mind, soul, and body. And we love our customers as much as we love ourselves.
Yes, real talk.
I'm not just saying this
Real talk.
to impress myself.
We love to go beyond with customer service. So they feel delighted to come in Sherwin-Williams because they know I can either see Dee Dee, or I can see Shelly, or one of our other wonderful staff members. We treat our customers with the respect of our boss because there are many paint companies they could choose to go to. No, baby. If they go to some other paint companies, so I gonna get this little thing at the end of the week.
We want to make sure you get that little ting, Shelley. Come visit Shelley and Dee Dee at Sherwin-Williams Bahamas, and you'll surely find colour in every day.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef, it's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
That sounds like only one part of the Valley Boys. Which faction was this? Can't be the whole. Anyway, welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong with DeAndre Cartwright.
I can need you to ease up.
I'm just saying, that didn't sound like the full group.
Listen.
That sounded like a little
Listen, that's when they
scrap
first starting. That's when they first starting
Damn.
up, and you know they just had the breakfast. Okay, you gotta hit them.
I don't think they had breakfast.
You didn't think they had
When
breakfast?
not when they did that one.
That's only a couple of them. They just got
Literally.
While the drums heating up. That's what that is. This only sound like little one.
Maybe this was from a practice.
Gotta be.
Okay.
Gotta be. I tell
hope
you
they
all.
didn't bring that today.
Play the song by Lil Duy.
That's our
that they
producer.
gone and
That's the
practice.
producer, folks. Don't blame me for it. He is not a Valley. And
He's not a Valley?
He is
What
trying to
is-
set them up.
What is you? What is you inside
Anything
that vibing
but.
with the Valley? Huh?
Anything that, oh boy, that's what
What
you
you- what do
decided
you-
to play this morning?
You hiding?
You
That's what
sure
this
that
is?
was the Valley Boys?
No, but which one? Which one?
It's part of one of
Oh
them.
wow!
Part of one of them.
Yeah, you know, I just feel like y'all being petty.
I don't know what's happening.
Y'all being petty. Leave them alone. They got enough internal strife.
Today. Wow. Okay. So, coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about what you need to know if you are looking at university for next fall. With things that you need to know, there's a special event coming up in a few days to give you some more information about that. We're going to be talking with Lyford Key International School about that, and then later in business, we are getting details about the Inspire Her conference,
All right.
which is in about a month, next month. So it's time to register for that.
Yes,
But we quickly want to get to this. The Valley Boys in chaos at the moment. They had a big meeting yesterday with the minister, and still nothing coming out of that meeting. There's still nothing resolved. Our Rachel Scott writing about it in today's Nassau Guardian. A decision has yet to be made on the future of the now divided Valley Boys Junkanoo Group, or which faction will receive seed funding from the government. That's according to Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Bolag. He said this yesterday after meeting with both sides of the fractured group. Bolag told reporters after the 2-hour session that it was a long deliberation. He said, quote, the whole idea of this meeting was to see if we could have a united front with both sides so the Valley Boys could go on Bay Street as one. Obviously, after deliberation with both sides, they don't seem like they want to come together. Oh, boy. And so there's another level of meetings that will take place, and that's with the legal minds. Once that's done, then the final decision will be made as it relates to both groups of parents on Bay Street. I think that there were some good things that came out of the meeting, and we believe that a final decision will be made pretty soon. Okay, that sounds contradictory to me. Good things came out of the meeting, but both sides don't appear they want to come together. That's what he said. What does that mean?
I think it's one of those situations like when you expect the worst and it then doesn't happen, so you're just hoping for peace. And peace just means you may not have come to an agreement of sorts, but you didn't get worse.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh, dear. Okay. Bullock says he hopes that meeting to make a final determination on the matter will happen by Tuesday. The group, which is one of the Bahamas' oldest and most prominent, has been in a state of turmoil for the past year, having splintered into two factions, the Way Forward Valley Boys and the world-famous Valley Boys, both WF Valley Boys. You can add a T in there if you wish. Last week, as other Junkanoo groups received $30,000 of seed funding from the government, the Valley Boys did not because of the ongoing dispute. Bolek said that he was disappointed that yesterday's meeting did not unite the two groups, but said the dispute runs deep. He said, quote, there seems to be a lot of passion from both sides as it relates to wanting to preserve the legacy of the group and also our culture, which is Junkanoo. There are just some differences. At this point, this one seems to be a little deep, and we're hoping that at some point they're able to see eye to eye because they once stood side by side with each other as group members and brothers and sisters in Junkanoo. And sometimes it takes a while for those wounds to heal. Wounds. Boy.
Again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Might be a little bit more deep.
How about we have like a Junkanoo face-off? Like, you all come together. Whoever the judges decide gave the best.
But who would be the judges?
We could find.
How do you find persons?
We could find people. But let them both rush and say, okay, you all have a month.
Make it a panel of one family, roots, like all the rest of the groups, maybe?
Yeah,
No?
trust that.
No, you can't trust that. But then who could you
people
trust?
who would normally judge Junkanoo. And then let whoever wins, like you all are the Valley Boys, everybody get behind them and shut up.
All right, I know about that. I know about that.
Let's hear what you have to say about it, folks. What do you think should be happening here? Last week I said that neither of them should get it. This is very late. It's September. Now, neither of them should get it. Find your own funding this time because it's public money. We don't have time for your your disputes. I don't know if it's silly, but your disputes. But this time, the government cannot use the public purse for any of you all.
Well, the thing is, Dwight, I think we have to also be realistic about this with the extent that they're going through collectively, that the two groups, which are, used to be a part of the larger group, are going through. So if the government then gives money, wouldn't that possibly be the genesis, not the group, but the genesis of a possible court case of some case?
As I said, don't give any money.
Right.
Not to them.
I don't know.
Although Laverne was saying give both of them, but
half it. Oh my goodness,
No, you can't
we
give
could line it up. No, it wouldn't work. The story inside the Bible.
Solomon, it won't like that.
No, but
And
it won't work because it can't work because if you say give one half and the other one half, they're going to be like, we should get the whole one. Why not? I don't see either of them being the parents, the true parent in this situation.
No, it won't work. That one won't work. So they get none. They're like, find some sponsors.
The former prime minister stepped in and still nothing. The current minister stepped in, nothing. For the love of Junkanoo, people, for the love of Junkanoo, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Hey, well, maybe they could be the first team, the one group, to have two themes. How about that? Like, do
they both satisfy? Technically,
we did, symbols of the Bahamas and back to Africa all one time together because, hey, we're two groups in one.
No.
Let's see what our callers have to say. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Madam Cartwright, how are you, ma'am?
As good as can be in yourself?
I'm good. We're not gonna tangle this morning. You're my Long Island friend.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Dwight, I've been around the valley as a handyman. I will not claim to know that I am a expert, but I am a handyman that painted contact cement and hand the pliers and ever. In the group that had more wins in the valley than any other valley in the Valley Boys. I am now retired. They're asking me to come back, but my grandchildren and my children, my son-in-law, they're all also active now in Valley Boys. But let me say this, Dwight. It don't appear to me that you are Valley. You sound like a Saxon. But whatever. You're trying to cause confusion. Listen to me. In a democracy, in this country, the Constitution stated that in 2026, we have to call an election. Is that right?
Yeah.
Am I right on that?
Sure.
In America, I think it is November 4th or 5th, they will have to call an election. Am I right on that?
First Tuesday after the first Monday.
And if they don't call an election, what will happen?
It's already been called, so yeah.
Right, I'm asking you a question. If they don't call an election on those dates, what will happen?
I have no idea because it's never not happened before. But they have to, that is mandated first.
That is the Constitution, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All I noted as a handyman of the Valley Boys, 85% of the group, and I keep hearing you all and many others who don't know anything about the Valley Boys talking about this split. There is no split. 85% of the group is saying, let's call an election. 15% is not saying we don't want an election. That don't sound like confusion.
It's madness.
So what the problem is?
We're all trying to figure out because have the election.
And then stop saying there is a split.
Well,
there is not a split.
Okay, well.
85% of the group is saying it's time for an election and accountability. And I support the minister. Withhold the funds until an election is called. And like I say, like my father normally said, let's settle the dust. If you feel that you can win, call an election. This is all I am understanding from inside source that now that I am retired as a handyman, 85% want an election. That is where the problem is. There is no split. And they keep saying this split with the Valley Boys. The forward group is saying, let's call an election, let's give an accountability for everything on the way forward. You don't think that is the right way to go?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's time for the majority in that group to act. We've got to do something, right? If that is how they feel. One more call. We've got to move on. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to you again.
Hi, good morning.
You know, the gentleman is saying there's not a split, but if you had 100% and 85 goes one way and the other 15 goes, isn't that a split? As small as it may be to them, it's still a split.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I understand what he's saying about the elections needs to be called, but I think they're going about it the wrong way. You know, if you see that it's not going to come together, then just change your name. And then leave them with what they have, with their 15%, and let them go. The Junkanoo Committee recognizes them. It doesn't recognize you guys.
Yeah.
The JCN don't recognize the Way Forward Valley Group. They recognize the world famous. So the 15% is recognized. You guys are not. 85% are not. You're still not recognized by the group that is supposed to recognize you and say, yes, you can come on Bay Street as A, B, or C category. So that's why the funds are being withheld.
Right.
And then because of the person that seems to be in charge, now if they have an election, is he willing to step down and let them have a fair election? If Mr. Davis is ready to step down and allow them to have a fair election, or he wants to be in charge until, just step down, allow them to do their election, and then see where let the chip fall where they may. If he don't win, is he ready to let go?
Okay.
That's another question. He may be not ready to let go. That may be why they don't want to have an election.
There's a lot going on.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Well, one sure way to get someone to move, I guarantee you, is to say none of you are getting the money.
Yeah.
There will be movement after that. Guaranteed. Let's read these messages as we get ready to go to the break. This person says here, why is Minister, this is back to power issues, why is Minister Mitchell talking so brand new? That entire statement applies to BPL too. Everyone knows they have a serious generation problem, which is not the norm. This one says here, a live text messages are 7 cents. BTC is still 5. The competition was supposed to be cheaper, right? What's happening? Okay, I'm not aware. I don't know. This person says here, Dwight and Laverne. Nope, Dwight and Deandra.
It's okay.
This is what they do when they want to increase or privatize any utility company. They frustrate everyone, then make excuses that they need to upgrade so that the increase or sale can be justified. What are you talking about? What are you talking about here? This GBPC is a private company. Okay. Anyway, this person says, please don't get any ideas about talking about BP. It doesn't matter if you talk about them. Not at all. The last time I said my power hasn't been out for a long time, that's when the power went out. And we've had a string of that. And I'm definitely not going to say that because that wouldn't be true.
I remember this.
That would is going off every other day. Just went off on Saturday for me. So. Anyway, the person says that Fred Mitchell, along with all politicians, need to remain silent on this issue because after all these years, BPL is still unreliable. Yeah, well. I lived in Grand Bahama almost 2005 after the double hurricanes. The unreliability of the power on top of the hottest summer on record has made everyday life almost intolerable. My siblings and I made the decision to bring our elderly mother to Nassau for fear of her having a medical incident at home at night where the house can quickly become an oven. For reference, I lived in Freeport for 36 years before moving and do not recall this type of disruption in service. Wow, that's very, very rough. Okay, let's get to some of your messages about the Junkanoo. There's a whole lot of board messages here. Valley Group receives, split the seed money down the half, and each Valley Group receives half. I'm sure they would not appreciate that. That's half of what all the other groups got, so that would be a problem. Dwight, your sarcasm is unmatched. You are slick. Okay. I want my taxpayer money to fix potholes in the road, not given to the Valley Boys or the Way Forward Valley Boys. None of the Valley Boys is saying.
I think there's 2 different line items in the budget. Just saying. I don't think we could. No, I mean,
What?
you could move them across.
Oh, I thought you meant for the 2 different Valley Boys. You mean potholes versus Junkanoo Group. So it wouldn't, right.
Yeah. We didn't have time to, readjust the budget to give both of them funding.
And they don't deserve it, no. The Valley Boys might as well play rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to keep the name.
Y'all really want to fight to break out?
And Grand Bahama having power issues, Nassau and Eleuthera having the same problem. What's up with that? The whole country, utility issues across the board.
When I was coming in, I was tuned in. I'm like, but Eleuthera has been going through it.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Let's take a break. We'll be back. A whole lot more Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, presents the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Sky Pods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
Are you tired of the same old 5K runs? Want something more? Then get ready for the Chick Charney Challenge City Run on September 28th, starting at Crypto Wild. Test your strength, stamina, and spirit. It takes all of you to dodge, climb, conquer obstacles as you race through the heart of the city. Lace up and get to the Chick Charney Challenge City Run. Register now on our website, chickcharneychurn.com, or on our social media pages. Brought to you by Colina, Island Yogurt, Advantage Insurance, Art of Graphics, Crypto Wild, and Guardian Radio 96.9.
RBC. RBC will find the right loan for all of you with competitive rates and extended terms to suit you. Whether it's for debt consolidation, your next vehicle, or home purchase, sometimes we all need a little more. No matter the reason for the loan, we're here to help you find the solution. RBC. RBC has all the loans for all of you. Let's start with a conversation today.
Doctors Hospital Specialist Clinic is where trusted and best care meets consistency and dedication. Let our expert specialists take you on a healthcare journey where warmth, compassion, and your well-being come first. From diagnosis to prescription, we are with you every step of the way, ensuring your peace of mind. Visit us today at Centerville Medical Center, Collins Avenue and 6th Terrace, and discover quality, compassionate healthcare at Doctors Hospital Specialist Clinic.
Do you know a fisher who braves the seas every day, bringing home a catch that feeds our communities? Nominate them now for the Anchor Awards, a night dedicated to celebrating the unsung heroes of our waters. On November 16th at the Bahama Resort, we're shining a spotlight on those who make waves, both big and small. Visit the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources Facebook page and click on the link provided to submit your nomination. Let's give our fishers the recognition they deserve. Anchor Awards 2024.
I was waiting for so long for a miracle to come. Everyone told me to be strong, hold the tears through the darkness and good times. I knew I'd make it through, and the world thought I had it all, but I was waiting for you. Hush, now I see light in the sky. Oh.
We're back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong along with DeAndre Cartwright on this Monday morning. And I don't know why DeAndre's smiling like that.
I'm laughing because this song is like, it's trying to give us hope about the Valley Boy situation.
No. This is not related to that. This is about new opportunities, right? People are going off to school and they're thinking now about next year. And if you're thinking about going off to school next year, it's time to really get cracking.
Especially with those deadlines for entry coming
up. They are coming up, right? But there's a lot to know about what to do when you're trying to seek admission into schools, especially in the United States. And the upcoming event seeks to demystify some of this. Here to tell us all about this from Life for Key International School. Very pleased to welcome back to the show Marketing, Advancement, and Communications Director O'Neill Bain. Sir, always a pleasure. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so this is coming up. This event is coming up in 3 days, right? Tell us about this and why already, as the new school year has just started, people just in college in the States and Canada, why, if you're thinking about next year, a whole year from now, you need to be making some moves at this point in time.
Yes. So we have, as you said, this event on Thursday where we'll be joined by some special friends of ours from Elite Edge Advisors out of the United States, highly experienced in university admissions counseling and guiding students and families on the path towards the universities that they're interested in attending, especially in the United States. When dealing with selective schools and highly selective schools in the U.S. in particular, it is a very complex list of items and checklists that families have to ensure they're monitoring and maintaining along the journey. And at LCIS, we take special care with our students to ensure that they're very aware of the university planning process and that they're prepared for university once they get there. Part of that is through our International Baccalaureate curriculum. You know, it's research-based and shown that students who complete the International Baccalaureate diploma are better prepared for university than their peers. Right. And part of the university planning process really begins in grade 9. So
Wow.
you're talking about
Oh, my
not
goodness.
just people looking at going next year, but 4 years from now.
So
ensuring
that would be kind of late if you're just looking now, right?
Right, but I mean, there's always time to get on the right track, right? But if you want to get started early, grade 9 is really where you're looking at ensuring that you're taking the right courses, depending on the major that you might be interested in, or the country that you'd like to attend university in the long run.
Did anybody tell you that in grade 9?
At LCIS, we do.
Oh,
Yes,
see?
so-
I guess
and part of
Preparation.
part of holding this event is to ensure that more people, and including the general public, are able to learn more about what university planning looks like. We know that parents have ambitious goals for their kids, and many young people, you know, as they get older and get ready to head to university, they have huge goals of things they want to do and an impact they want to make. And sometimes attending schools with very low admission rates is part of the journey that they'd like to take. So it's just ensuring that they have the tools and the knowledge to ensure that they can access that education if they would like. So when you look at our university outcomes at LCIS, we have what we believe really are the best in the country, which is due in part, like I mentioned, due to the IB diploma and the high standard education that our students access. But they have headed off to universities around the world, not just in the United States. About a third of our class heads to Europe and the UK, a third to Canada, and a third to the United States. We also have some students studying here in the Bahamas at LJM Maritime Academy. We've had students go to UB. We've had students go to UE in the Caribbean as well. But part of that, again, is just really having the... And so this event on Thursday will give not only our community, but the wider community the opportunity to hear from experts in the field. It will be held at our lower school campus within Lyford Key at 6 p.m. on Thursday, September 12th. The event is called Selective Admissions in the United States, a Peek Behind the Curtain.
Wow.
We know, again, like I said, yes, there's a lot that you can learn from university websites, sometimes from college fairs, even visiting campuses and connecting with admissions counselors yourself. But what Kyle Graham and Shehan Liu will be looking to do on Thursday is give people a bit more insight than you would regularly get, because they have had such success with getting students into these kinds of schools. And part of their work with us and as LCIS wanting to serve as a hub of education in the Bahamas, making professionals like this available to the broader community is part of what we like to do. And so we're hoping that everyone can come and learn more. There are limited spaces available since we're so close to the event now, but we wanted to give, like I said, people the opportunity to sign up with these last few spots that we have. If they would like to sign up, they can visit our website at www.lcis.bs. You'll see a pop-up. You can click, sign up, and you might be able to get one of the last few seats that we have for Thursday.
Well, okay. So just from what you know, what are some things that people need to be thinking about?
Yeah, so every university is looking for a unique profile. It's not just your SAT score, your GPA. Depending on a program, sometimes you have to have the right prerequisite courses that you've taken. So you might hear a highly selective school, like an Ivy League school, saying something like, did you take the most difficult level of math available to you at your school? So not just did you study math,
Right.
But if there were 2 courses offered, did you take the most challenging one? They would also be looking at how well-rounded you are, how have you shown leadership, action in your community. So, as a school, what we try to do is build a lot of that into our program for our students. They have access to things like GGYA. We have Make a Change Mondays where they're able to practice service learning and take action for various causes in the community, whether that be the environment, poverty, hunger. Students are always looking for ways that they can give back and make an impact on the Bahamian community. But also, like I said, it's really knowing yourself and being able to articulate your educational journey up to college and also what you'd like to do beyond that, because they're trying to craft a class that is diverse and with young people who are again looking to make an impact and who can collaborate well with others. So of course there's a lot of work that you have to do on your own. But a 21st century skill that's critical is collaboration.
Right.
And so your ability to work in teams, get to know people who you've never met before, and achieve a goal. Those are the kind of characteristics that these schools are looking for more often.
Yeah. So if you start in the 9th grade, you have a lot of time to get it together.
Right,
But
to
if
build that
you
profile.
are already in the 12th grade, what can you do?
Well, so of course, applications are being finalized for students who are looking to start university next year, right? So
Right.
the key is just ensuring that you understand how those processes work, whether you're looking to attend school in the UK or the United States or Canada. You need to understand the visa process. You need to foster a relationship with the admissions counselors at the schools that you're interested in attending. You need to seek guidance from your school guidance counselor to understand, and get all of your references from your teachers, everything else that you may need to prepare that packet. Again, just research. So research skills are going to be needed when you get to university, but also in advance. You want to ensure that you're inquiring into the specific requirements of the schools that you're interested in attending, because they may vary. And again, there's other preparation you might need to do. Again, ensuring that you're meeting scholarship and financial aid deadlines, speaking with your parents about other financial options that might be available to your family. You want to ensure that you have a good understanding of all of that well in advance, and ensuring that you're meeting the deadlines along the way.
Just hearing all of that makes me anxious. So I can imagine the pressure.
And again, it's not to create that high pressure and anxiety, which again is natural in a way. But we want to be sure that students can navigate it well. And part of that, again, is knowledge, information. The sooner you know, the more you know in advance, the better prepared you can be. And so, like I said, just comprehensively as a school, that's really a critical part of our program. And we are not only hosting this event, but many more like this in the months to come, to ensure that we can be a resource to our broader community and also help people to learn more about the high-quality education that we provide at Life Key International School.
Excellent, excellent. Is there a cost to attend?
No, so this event is completely free. Like I said, one more time, where you can sign up, there's a pop-up that you'll see on our website, which is www.lcis.bs. You can visit that today, sign up for one of the few spots that we have left for Thursday. The event will be Thursday, September 12th, at our lower school campus in Lyford Key, in our hall. It's called Dingman Hall.
Yeah, and you definitely need to sign up. You can't just show up. Right?
Yes, we definitely need RSVPs to ensure that we can manage to understand everyone who's attending.
So just to be clear, for the RSVPs, is that for the student or the parent or both?
So either can complete the sign up, but what we ask is that you list the total number of people in your party. So if it's just mom and dad, or if the student is coming along, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. Wonderful stuff. It's a great initiative. O'Neill Bain, thank you so much for talking with us this morning. Again, it's Thursday at LCIS and at 6 p.m.
That's right.
All right. Thank you very much. Great information this morning.
All right. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. We're going to take a break for news and be back with Morning Blend Business in just a bit. Stay with us.
I was waiting for so long.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Monday, September 9th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Deandra Cartwright. And this morning we are talking about the upcoming Inspire Her conference. Here to tell us all about this, we're very pleased to welcome the host of the conference, Stacey Marshall, and from Alive, Strategic Partnerships Manager, Kiora Benaby. Great to have you both with us.
Thank
Good morning.
you. It's good to be here.
It's great to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you all. All right, so this is is this right? Second?
The third.
Third.
Yeah, third
okay.
year. Yes.
Third year. Wonderful stuff. For those who aren't familiar, tell everybody what Inspire Her is all about.
Okay. Well, do you want to do that, Kiora? Let me let her give the official statement, and then I'll give you the host statement.
Okay, Kiora.
So Inspire Her is Cable Bahamas' flagship women event. And so, like you know, we're in our third year. And so this year, we are set to coming back to Atlantis' Grand Ballroom. And so it's an event where women come together and we network and we pour into each other and we share ideas and we hear from, other women who are very much baddies in their industries and doing very good things. And so we are coming together, and then we have our 3 pillars, which is empower, elevate, and enrich. And so we want women to feel when they leave, they're elevated. We want them to feel inspired. We want them to feel empowered. And so women, we have some great keynote. We also have some great panelists lined up this year, but I'll leave that for Stacey just to do her little host plug in there. We also have some, women want to come and let their hair down. So we have a jam session too as well, so women can come and wind. We have a great vendor village, and so we do partner with a lot of women-behaving small businesses, and so we have a good vendor village coming again this year. And so it's pretty much an event for the women. It's an event for your friends, event for your sisters, I should say it's a whole community of women just coming together.
All right, so let's break that down a little more. An event for women, a women's conference. Does it mean no men allowed, no men speaking, no men can attend, no men anything?
Well, we won't say no men can attend because we have had men attend. We have had men attend. And, we're never going to close the door to any men. And but we don't have any male speakers. We don't have that. And it really is Cable Bahamas, and one of the things I love about them is that they are all about empowering women. And we know that, especially in the tech field, that can be very male heavy. And so this event is really creating a diverse and inclusive environment for women and to nurture female leaders, because we need that. We need more of that. And look, I come from a place that we all can be great. I'm never going to be one of these women that are tearing down another woman. Like, look, you call me for some advice. I'm like, sis, let me show you. Let me tell you the mistakes that I made, the obstacles that, and that is what.
They're very rare, by the way.
And I hear that. But there are a lot of other women out there like that. And let me tell you about that room. I have hosted this event. This will be my 3rd year. And the power in that room. And the Bahamas can be a very big place and it can be a very small place. And you realize how big it is because I get there and I'm like, well, I've never met you. Like, who are you? What do you do? And you meet these women and they're doing it in their fields. And you're like, wow. And she's your neighbor. She's your friend's cousin's auntie. And you're like, oh my goodness, she is great. And you feed off of that spirit. And there's just something really just amazing about the room. And that's why I'm so proud, to be a part of this movement that Cable Bahamas group of companies has put together.
Yeah. You mentioned it in the tech space, especially there are challenges for women there.
Yeah.
But I know we're going to get it every time we talk about these things. And that's almost every week. We will get the messages from the people like, why? Because men in this country are facing greater challenges, it seems, especially in the workplace. We see women really excelling, but men are in the corners and the shadows. And
but men are still making way more money than we make. I mean, let's just be for real about it. Men are getting way more concessions than women are getting. We still are having babies and managing, I'm not taking anything away from men because y'all know I got the last good husband as far as I'm concerned. And anybody who knows me knows that. But, there's women always have a lot on our plate. So I'm managing, businesses. I'm managing, a career. I'm managing our household. I'm managing my husband's business. I got older sick parents. I got a sick brother. There's so much going on. I still am like, okay, how many underwear? Do the kids need new underwear? Does my husband have enough? Does his tux still fit? Like there's so many things that we do. So look, men need to form their own coalition and have their own conferences, but right now it's all about the women.
All right, so that's a great point, and I know the men are going to say, "Well, alive, Cable Bahamas. What about us?"
That's another day and another story.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's focus on inspiring.
We're gonna inspire her this coming October 10th.
All right, so let's talk about it. You say great speakers. Who can we expect on October 10th?
Okay, so first of all, like there are 2 sessions. So there's a morning session where we invite schools and young ladies from all schools all over, the country. And so it's a powerhouse session, and we're going to have Aisha Bowe. She's going to be speaking that morning. And Aisha is a former NASA rocket scientist, like a legit rocket scientist. And she is of Bahamian heritage. So that makes it even extra special. So she's going to be the keynote speaker for the morning, and she's going to share insights on overcoming challenges and exploring, career passions. And that's really good because young women need to see someone that is not so much older than them. They need to see that. Somebody still that they consider fairly young, and she's really out there doing it. So that is just... It's just going to be amazing. I've already interviewed Aisha when she was here previously, and she is just like, wow, mind-blowing. It's like you're an actual rocket scientist. Wow.
A lot of great energy there.
Yeah,
as well.
and Antonia Lightbourne, she focuses on the power of purpose and awareness with, guiding young women to discover and embracing their true purpose, because I feel like if young women very early on are taught to try to kind of look at what your purpose is going to be. Look, I'm almost 50 years old, and I just in the last couple of years really was like, this is my purpose, But if we can get these girls when they're younger to kind of develop and hone in on what their purpose is, it doesn't have to necessarily be career driven, but what your purpose is, that is powerful. So that's our morning session. Now, adult women are, of course, invited to that as well, because there's always a space to learn. You know what I mean? But then our evening sessions, we have, when I tell you, 100% blow you away dynamite, Jessica Lundy. She's a former award-winning TV host and transformational speaker. She is going to talk about what's next. You know what I mean? Embracing that personal strengths to live fully and authentically during the process. Wow. So, I always tell people when my friends come talking to me about, I've got this dream, I'm like, okay, now don't give up the day job. We still got bills to pay. But in that process, what can I do to, foster this dream, and let it all work in the process. Jessica, I'm telling y'all, all the ladies out there, and for the men that are out there listening, you need to be sending the women in your life to this event. So this will be a great gift, right, Kiora?
Yes, it is.
So you can gift your girlfriend, your wife, your sister, your auntie, your mama with this event, because it is just such a powerful and warm place to grow. And we grow in warmth, we grow in those environments. And I honestly cannot say enough about it. I believe, in my core. And then we've got panelists like Julie McGlone. She's the Vice President of Creative Content Production for ESPN. Wow. Now, you must know what it's like to be a woman in that environment, right? Wow. So Julie has a lot to say. Alana Van Onselen.
Yeah.
I think I want to, from Bahama Handprints. She's the owner and director there. Hello. We all know Alana is doingit.com, okay? And we have Dr. Iandra Smith-Bryan, who is, when we talk about baddie, I actually just posted something she posted on my page. So you all go check me out on social media. Day in the Life of an Island Wife, little plug there. And, but I posted something that Iandra posted because it was very, very powerful. She is the CEO of Quant Fury, a global brokerage. She is also a seasoned lawyer, and she's Bahamian. Okay. She is taking that fintech world by storm, and she is out there around the world representing the Bahamas with a spirit of excellence. Wow. And I'm so proud that she's going to be on the panel this year. And then Susan Patouche.
Patouche, yes.
And she's the executive vice president of the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association. So again, a woman who is out there doing things things, and we're just going to be talking and sharing. And it's going to be a real networking event too, because this is not just the type of environment where you sit down, you don't move. Like, we get up, we interact. It is that place to be.
Right. This is how many days?
This is one
All
night.
that in one day?
It is all, and it's magical. It happens. It works, and it doesn't, because everybody's schedule can't necessarily take a whole weekend conference.
Right.
A lot of that, goes on, and cheers for that. But, Alive and Cable Bahamas group of companies has decided, look, we can have one night of empowerment for women, and you're going to leave there a better person.
Excellent. Okay, so you can get tickets now, is that right?
Yes, tickets are
on
available.
sale.
Tell us about that. How do you do this?
So everyone, tickets are on sale, and you can go and purchase it through our live events app. And so tickets, let me just give the breakdown too. So we have a general fee, and that includes access to a nice premium tote bag. You have complimentary drinks. You have access to the to the evening session, and then the VIP package, which is $200. And so with that package, you get a signature tote that we customize specifically for our ladies out there. You can have complimentary drinks, hors d'oeuvres. You also have a VIP priority seating. You also get to meet and greet our keynote speaker, which is awesome. And so so it's right there in our live events app. If you do not have it, please download it. You can download it through the Google Play Store for Android users, and then at the App Store for Apple users.
How many people can you accommodate?
And so we are anticipating, because we have a full crowd, like over 500.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So this is like, bring together your girl squad, the ladies that you normally meet for happy hour or to go out to the restaurant, come out that night, October 10th. It's a Thursday evening. You can come from work, or if you have time, you can run home and zhuzh it up. It's just worth it.
And you said the earlier sessions, schools can take advantage of that. Yeah.
And, we have reached out to all of the schools.
Yeah, so we have personally extended invitation to the schools. And so we do, I would say, extend for corporate sponsors who want to sponsor students to attend. But so like Stacey would have said, we have invited the schools. And so we already got some emails where there are students and some of their female leads are coming. And so, so we anticipate a very big crowd.
And those students leave changed. Like you see them, they're like pumped up, they're amped up, because there's nothing like being told, you too can do this. Yeah. And we know that a lot of Bahamian young girls, may not have the examples right there at home, but to go out there, and especially like Aisha Bo, who is a Bahamian, it's just like, oh my goodness, you're a rocket. Like, I was in awe of her when I met her, because I was like, wow. Yeah. Even me growing up with parents who nurtured and poured into me, I never thought I could have been a rocket scientist. You know what I mean? And so to see somebody like that up close and up front, who is there like, it isn't rocket science. You know what I mean? You too can do it. It just makes the hairs on your arms stand up when you're in the presence of women who are that empowering.
All right. So what do I want to do? We got a few messages coming in. You're going to need to brace yourself for some of these.
Okay.
I warned you before that you get them.
Okay.
And we're going to take some calls, but let's take a break first, and then we'll get to the calls and the questions.
Okay.
And then we'll see how this goes from there. We're talking with Stacey Marshall and Kiora Benaby about the Inspire Her conference, which is only a few weeks away.
Yeah.
October is close,
10th,
right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that in just a bit. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit cfal.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
For fast, reliable, and impactful, let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidation loan combined all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
I am woman, hear me roar. In numbers too big to ignore. And I know too much to go back and pretend. 'Cause I've heard it all before. And I've been down there on the floor. No one's ever gonna keep me down again. Well, yes, I'm wise, but it's wisdom on a pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong. I am invincible. I am woman.
And we are back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeAndre Cartwright. We are talking with Stacey Marshall and Kiora Benaby about the Inspire Her conference coming up in October, and they're getting all the great details about it. So we've got a few calls coming in. You can call us.
Bring them
well.
on.
Well, yeah, call us 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-425. Now, you can call us toll-free as well, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right, Stacey, you ready for this one?
Yes, sir. Let's hear.
This texter says, oh, boy, Deandra.
Deandra, what are your people? What they saying?
No, every other Monday I get dragged. So.
Okay.
No, it's every day. It's not just every day. How many women have made an effort to enter the world of employment that men occupy? Construction, plumbing, electrical, waste management, roofing, pool attendant in disadvantaged positions in the Bahamas doesn't hold up. Please name a job besides being elected prime minister, even though they've served as acting prime minister, that women are disadvantaged in the Bahamas.
Okay, so we weren't coming from a place of negativity and, women being disadvantaged. So we're not coming from that space. So guess what, y'all? I'm not going there this morning. We are here to empower women and to speak about this particular conference. So we're not downing men. I love men. Men are necessary. I love the work that men do. I love who you are and the roles that you play in our lives. I am team men. I am never going to be that woman who is going to tear down a man. Okay, so we're not even going to bring that into the space. What we are here to do is tell you all about this conference that Cable Bahamas Group of Companies has has put together to empower, to elevate, and to inspire women. So that is not taking away anything from our men. It's just adding to our women. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're not gonna make this negative at all. All right. So what's the next question?
Well, okay. So now I want to know tell us about the previous two. What's come out of those? If you have any specific things you can say.
Well,
this is what we did first year, and this, as a result of that, this led to this.
The great networking opportunities for women to be able to come into a room and, so I will meet, Jane Doe, and I'm like, well, what do you do for a living? And it's like, well, I do this. And then I'm at work and I'm like, you know what? I need somebody who does this. And I met Jane, and we have seen where these opportunities, because again, like I say, as small as Nassau is, it also can be very big, and nobody can know everybody. I mean, we've got over 300,000 people on this island alone. Nobody knows everyone. So it's just a great space to be able to come together to get to know one another more, and networking is it. That's how the world works. That's how the networking is everything. And we, especially here in this country, we know how much that matters. So that room gives you the space to get to know more people.
Yeah.
And then we've had young ladies who have been encouraged, those same young girls that we talk about, going on to college, because not all of them understand, I can go to college and this is how I can do it. There are scholarships out there. It encourages them to go back to that classroom and study a little harder, because when you get those good grades, then the scholarships come pouring in.
Yeah.
So, that's the kind of information that they're getting, that, the more you hear it, the more it's ingrained.
Absolutely. All right. So one more time, remind folks where, when, why, how, what people need to know to be a part of this.
Okay, so
on October 10th.
It's October 10th. It's going to be at Atlantis Grand Ballroom. You can get your tickets online, on the app, on the Alive app. You can download that to your phone, whether you have an Apple or an Android. You can download it. We're encouraging groups to, make it fun, have your girlfriends come together. But wait, one of the things I'm going to tell you, that this is not just a sit in your group. I came with these girls and these are the only women that I'm going to know this night. No, we're going to be mixing in and mingling. It's going to be a real situation where you're going to get to know someone that you did not know when you walked in the door that evening.
Right.
Again, the tickets are $150. That gives you access to the evening session, refreshments, and a premium tote bag, some swag. But you upscale it a little bit, $50, and you get that VIP ticket, which, that's super cool, which gives you access to both sessions if you want to come in the morning. You get all the other perks. It gives you early entry and VIP seating, complimentary drinks and hors d'oeuvres, and the meet and greet with the keynote speakers, which that's always a lot of fun, because, last year, one of the young ladies who sang made a very great connection with the keynote speaker, Shauna Spenley, who came in, who is now just got promoted to some big time job at Warner Brothers, right? At Paramount, yeah. So that was a very great connection that was made just from that meet and greet.
Right.
So it's an opportunity, and it's just a fun night. There's not always a lot of positive places to go that isn't necessarily. It don't have to be to turn up. It's like. Or it's not just sitting down and having dinner with friends. This is a real great time that can be had by all. So I'm just, you all can Google some of these people: Aisha Bowe, Jessica Lundy, Antonia Lightbourne, Julie McGlone, of course, our very own Alana Van Onselen, and Iandra Smith-Bryan, and Suzanne Patouche. We are bringing the heat on October 10th, okay? I'm telling you all, ladies, inspire her. 2024, this is where you want to be. And gentlemen, you go out there, spend that money on that ticket, and get your ladies in the house.
Yeah. Sounds like it's going to be a great time. Thank you very much, Stacey Marshall, Kiora Beneby. Thank you both. Looking forward to hearing some great stuff come out of Inspire Her, the third annual on October 10th.
All right.
Thank you again.
Thanks.
We're going to take a break and be back with more Morning Blend business here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Stronger, not a novice any longer, 'cause you deepen the conviction in my soul. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom on a plane. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything.
Wishing for some extra cash this summer? Enter Esso's Summer Wins promotion. Esso is giving you the chance to win 3 incredible cash prizes: $2,000, $2,500, and the grandest prize of them all, $5,000. To enter, simply fuel up with $25 or more, write your contact information on the back of your receipt, and you'll be eligible to win. 10 lucky customers will also have a chance to participate in convenience store sweepstakes. Promotion ends September 29th, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Like and follow Sol Petroleum on Facebook for more details.
Back to school is around the corner. Move to the top of the class with this amazing Scotiabank Back to School credit card offer. You could win your share of prize money valuing $10,000 when you spend $150 or more on any Scotiabank credit card to purchase books, uniforms, technology items, or other academic items. 10 lucky customers will each win $2,000 in cash back towards their purchases. Promotion runs July 12th through September 30th, 2024. Drawing date is Friday, October 11th, 2024.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
It's time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. As we've been telling you all morning, Grand Bahama Power Company says the challenges at its Peel Street Power Station are the reason behind recent load shedding. But repairs are underway as GBPC secures additional generation capacity. In a release to Guardian Business after queries about the recent spate of outages, GBPC said that they understood the significant impact the recent disruptions have had on customers, both residential and commercial, and that they deeply regretted what was going on, but they said the ongoing challenges of the largest generator at the Peel Street Power Station had created temporary power supply challenges. Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce President James Carey saying that it was, quote, unthinkable that GBPC is asking for a rate increase when they can't keep the power on. He says, quote, we've been having power cuts all across the island over the past few days. They're disrupting everything. GBPC is still waiting on a response from the Grand Bahama Port Authority on its request for that rate increase, something that has raised significant ire from citizens and the government. Groundbreaking for the construction of the 20,000 square foot terminal building for the new Bimini International Airport is set to happen within the next 2 months. That's according to Director of Aviation and Deputy Director General of Tourism, Dr. Kenneth Romer. In a statement released yesterday, he said that the building will be replete with the new retail spaces and an outdoor recreational and food court that could also serve as a venue for the community and events. He says that while the island waits on its new airport, repairs to the existing terminal building have been completed with lighting and installation of air conditioning units and reliable internet connectivity. Full Call Holdings Limited President Dexter Adley says at the company's recent annual general meeting that the net income of $32.6 million recorded in 2023 is the highest in the company's history, setting a new record its employees should be proud of. And Queens College has, with the help of Canoe Pays, implemented a smart ID card system for students that serves as an identification card and also enables cashless transactions on campus. The school's principal, Reverend Henry Knowles, saying that the smart ID card system is another product Canoe is rolling out to continue its mission of promoting the future of payment systems. Canoe's Assistant Operations Manager, Jamal Bingham, explained that while the ID cards which use near-field communication technology to carry out transactions are made for QC's on-campus transactions, students can also transact at Canoe merchants outside of school using the money stored on their cards. And a U.S. nonprofit that's provided Abaco with clean water and reconstruction services since the passage of Hurricane Dorian recently started a medical mission on the island that's now looking to replicate that mission on other family islands that need help as well. Executive Director and founder of Liquid Legacy, Pete Stardom, telling Guardian Business that his team has been working in Abaco with the blessing of the Ministry of Health since Dorian devastated. You can read more about their mission in today's Guardian Business section. Overseas, 1 month after a judge declared Google's search engine an illegal monopoly, the tech giant faces another antitrust lawsuit that threatens to break up the company, this time over its advertising technology. The Justice Department and a coalition of states contend that Google built and maintains a monopoly over the technology that matches online publishers to advertisers. Dominance over the software on Both the buy side and the sell side of the transaction enables Google to keep as much as 36 cents on the dollar when it brokers sales between publishers and advertisers. The government's case is based on an internet of yesteryear when desktop computers ruled and internet users carefully typed precise World Wide Web addresses into URL fields. Advertisers now are more likely to turn to social media companies like TikTok or streaming TV services like Peacock to reach audiences. And Apple's ubiquitous iPhone is about to break new ground with a shift into artificial intelligence that will do everything from smartening up its previously dim-witted assistant Siri to creating customized emojis on the fly. The new era will dawn Monday with the unveiling of the hotly anticipated iPhone 16 in Cupertino, California. Apple sold billions of iPhones since 2007 when the first iPhone debuted, helping to create a $3 trillion market and shareholder wealth. But in the past decade, there have been mostly minor upgrades from one model to the next, a factor that has caused people to hold off on buying a new iPhone and led to recent slumps in sales of Apple's marquee product. The 16 is generating a bigger buzz because it's the first model to be tailored specifically for AI, a technology that's expected to trigger the biggest revolution in the industry since Steve Jobs thrust Apple into the smartphone market 17 years ago. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday. Your market movers, Bahamas Waste, moving 125 shares, closing unchanged at $11.06. 5,000 shares, down 3 cents to $5. Consolidated Water, down 18 cents to $5. Emira Incorporated, down 12 cents to $9.18. The BISX All-Share Index, closing at 2,951.80, down 0.33. Recapping the week, the local market ended the week with 73,569 shares crossing the exchange in 20 trades, accumulating a value of $371,082. The BISX All-Share Index lost 8.46 points, or 0.29%, to end the week at 2,947.80. Year-to-date, the index is up 96.16 points, or 3.37%. The week's volume and value leader, Commonwealth Bank, moving 67,014 shares in 12 trades for a value of $355,521. That's your Market Watch. And that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, sharing wealth for future generations. And tune in tonight for CFAL Talks at 6:30 p.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan with DeAndre Carter in our final few minutes here. We can pick up some of our conversations from earlier in the show. We were talking about a lot, talking about the Junkanoo and the Valley Boys, what's supposed to happen there with the seed money, and also talking about the power issues with Grand Bahama Power Company. But also, we know we're having issues here in New Providence and other parts of the country as well. So all of that this morning, and we touched on a bit on boards, but I mean, that's just, you might as well be talking about the price of silver. I don't know. What can you do about it?
If you draw enough attention to it, maybe, I don't know.
What? Something will change
Listen,
after all these decades?
You know what we had, I think, a couple months ago when that movie was, quote unquote, banned, right? Even though they argued it wasn't. Some people did. And we were trying to figure out who were the members.
Not allowed for public viewing.
Right. So that's what I said.
Right.
But how a lot of persons were trying to figure out who were sitting on that particular board. How did that board actually operate? The frequency of those meetings, and also the processes that those members actually undertook to arrive at a particular situation. I think that, there were lots of questions that were asked by the public. To this day, I think a lot of those questions remain unanswered. So I wonder if now, because we have so much public discourse about this news list, which again is being modified again, if we're going to have more questions about the different boards and committees to see how they operate. No? Am I having too much hope there?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. But hey, I hear you. There are some bigger things we need to be concerned about. But about not happening as well, right?
Well, again, because are we looking at the purposes of these different boards and committees if they're not being run or even acting, performing efficiently or whatnot? They are legally tied to certain entities that cannot operate if that board is not performing.
See, this is the challenge that we face here, right? They aren't necessarily, I'm sure there are members on the boards who think that way, that they are doing what's in the best interest of the Bahamian people. But most are going to be doing what's in the best interest of the people who appointed them to the board. And that will always be the priority. And I'm sure they will have to, right? That's just how it's been. That's how it's always going to be, because people feel they have to be beholden to the person who put them there and the people and the entities.
Okay, I hear you. But if it is that these boards can actually operate as they should be operating, wouldn't that be in the best interest in most cases to the person?
Oh, no.
No?
No. Well, you would think so.
Yeah.
But no. I mean, no. Because if they cared about what's in the best interest for the majority of the people in the country, they wouldn't do half the things they do, right? They would decentralize the government. They would not interfere in the power companies. They would do all the things that they're not doing. So obviously that's not what a board is supposed to be about. Obviously, they could shock us and prove us wrong, but this would be, I don't think our minds would be so blown we wouldn't be able to function.
Okay, so question, Dwight. Do you think there are any of these boards or committees that are actually functioning properly? None? No?
Probably in the most insignificant place or entity that anyone could ever think of. Oh, this is one board that works, but this is of a thing that, who will notice? Probably. Prove me wrong. I don't know. But also don't waste that much time paying attention to the boards and stuff.
I mean, until they're in the news for something or the other, most people don't. Maybe they need to be, more transparent with what they're doing.
I hear a lot about how boards are making people's lives a living hell, right? The board members at a certain corporation or a certain whatever, how they've put in place some ridiculous policy that is driving all the people who are working hard insane, and that the board, the people are dancing on tables when they hear these people have left the board or a new board has been put in place.
But shouldn't there be a vetting process of some kind when it comes to appointing to ensure that that person is able to either perform or doesn't have a vested interest elsewhere, or actually
for the board? Yeah, they've been vetted right at the party level. Party, right? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Anyway, like I said, not everybody, but the majority. Come on now, they know what they got to do. You're not going to go onto a board and do something totally different from what the minister has said is the plan, right? Even though what you are planning to do is better than what the minister said.
So would it be
It's not going to happen.
Would it be fair to say that in most cases the board members aren't either perhaps trained or sensitized or even aware of what their roles and responsibilities actually mean?
No, they fully know.
Oh. Trying to find a silver lining.
There are going to be people on the board who are there to do the right thing.
Okay.
And they're going to be beaten down and, yes, put in their place.
Okay. So maybe we have like a board member encouragement system. You're doing the right thing. Keep on fighting, even though you're in the minority. And that's why things don't change.
You want to head that team?
No.
Oh.
No.
'Cause that would be,
I'm still replenishing my well of hope.
you'd sooner be able to get your car to fly to Miami. But I'm being very cynical. Maybe you all know something that I don't know. Let's hear from you. Callers, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. We're talking about Junkanoo still as well, so you can get that in. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Mr. Sean?
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, I don't know what your topic is, but I need some help, please, desperately. Okay, I don't know if you recall, about 3 weeks ago, BTC was off. I mean, just about all night. I think it was a Thursday night. Well, anyhow, to cut a long story short, they came to my place. I live in Monastery Park. And if you know Monastery Park, if you still in Monastery Park, that's a well-to-do upper-class area. Most of my neighbors are retired, the homeowners. I am 68, and I'm retired. People always, my friends and family always say, you're too young to retire. But I told them I retired at the height of the pandemic. Anyways, cut a long story short. They dig up the yard. They dig up the front of my yard, and it was just really, really bad. And you there, sir?
We're listening. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my gripe is, my gripe is, I came home one day. It was a Saturday, I think. Because I don't go nowhere. Crime is so high. And it's got a long story short. They BC dig up, then literally between the rock and a hard place, because BC dig it up, and they cut the telco cable line with my phone, and I'm calling for myself.
Oh boy.
My land phone and my TV. For 2 weeks they've been down. And I called BTC, and they always turn me around, put me this place. And I said, let me call you, because I know if you hear my story. Now I could give you my phone. I don't want to call my name. But I could give you could call me off there, and I could tell you the rest.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on hold. Give my producer your number, and you can give the producer your name.
Okay, sir.
And we'll see what we can do.
Yes, sir. I will talk.
Hopefully we'll get you sorted out. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope we can help you. That's a nightmare. Oh, boy. I kind of call back. Please, call back. I cut you off. Boy. I meant to put you on hold. Call back and give the producer your name and number. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, we'll see if we can get BTC to hear that there are issues in Monastery Park. But call back, sir. Sorry about that. And give the producer your name and number. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, are you there? Let's take that one. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Deandra.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight, I listened to your commentary for the past few moments, and my brother, I couldn't disagree with anything that you have said. And Deandra, you said something that was so poignant as well concerning boards and these persons. You know, the Bahamas obviously does not work on a meritocracy, if I could use that word in this current context.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these positions, you talk about whether we have a board that's operating above normal. Sadly to say, that's like looking for something in under a bushel, and you know you ain't gonna find it because it's so minute. Right. You know, the thing is, this country, it pains one's heart when they want what is best for this country, who wants to do what is right and righteous, to bring about the systems that we need for fair play and justice across the board. And that just isn't apparent here in this country. It's hard to say it. You know, we see political favors. We know persons are in certain positions that should not be there, but because of political patronage and everything, they tend to get there. When are we going to fix this country where the people who have educated themselves and those who have the wherewithal, the knowledge and the skill sets to try and bring about the type of Bahamas that we talk about on a continuous basis? When are we actually going to achieve it if we keep allowing the political directorate to keep on putting their people in these places, knowing full well that they're not qualified for these things, but because of political patronage, they tend to get these things. And then when you stand up against them for doing the wrong things, they tend to try to get rid of you. We got to fix the country. That's why this country is not prospering. This is why our children have no desire to come back here, because there is no true fair play across the board. And that's simply it. That's as simple as I can put it.
Thank you very much.
My call this
Yeah, serious thing.
I should also say there was an event I attended a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the importance of economic social governance, and one of the panel members actually brought up what happens on boards. This particular person who is listed on those pages mentioned that they were on at least 3 or 4 boards.
Oh.
And then as I was looking through that list earlier, yesterday as well, because I wanted to look, I'm seeing names, the same names on multiple boards. And I'm thinking with a population of allegedly almost 500,000, if not more, then why are we replicating names on particular, or is there such thing as spreading too thin? I want to say, quote unquote, expertise or availability. And are we, again, going back to the efficacy of the board? If I'm serving on 4 boards, how effective am I being on any one of those? But then again, what are the standards associated with being on board? I have questions, and I know that there are
this
not
whole
answers,
thing is.
but
This is what I tell you. This is a waste of time conversation, because I know people who are on these lists who say I am finding out this very day that you found out because no one said a word to me, and they've never approached me. And then people who said they put me on this list 2 years ago, and I've never been in a meeting yet. They never told me when the meetings were. And then people were like, wait, the name is John Smith. There are about 10,000 of them. I don't know if it's me. No one said anything. And so who knows? So they just throw the names out there to see who they can catch in the big net, perhaps.
That's what it is.
Maybe. This texter says here, come on now, you all failed to mention that there was a female board member who spent thousands of dollars on makeup and photo shoots. I see this is the same nonsense, because that was what got the minister who spread that foolishness around in big trouble, because that was not just for her personal photo shoot, that was for everybody. Everybody on the executive team, and I believe the board as well. No, the board, yeah. But it wasn't it wasn't just for one person. That was how they destroy your reputation. They get you on a board. You try to do some changes, and then they ruin you and spread all kinds of lies about you.
Well, how about
And we've seen that over and over and over again.
Agreed. But on that point, continuing that pettiness, do we ask how much monies are spent on photo shoots regardless, especially when administrations take office? PR, media. I mean, do we have those numbers available as well? Because if
For
we're going
boards, or you mean for when the government's cabinets and stuff like that come in?
I'm talking about all of it. All of it. Because if we're going to question in one area, why don't we question in others? But like you said, that's just a tactic to besmirch somebody's name.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to get this in from a prominent Junkanoo message about some of the drama in the Valley Boys. Number one, Junkanoo facts. Number one, you do not need to be registered as an NPO or even have a business license in order to rush. Okay. Number two, the JCNP requires a group to have a TIN, that's the tax identification number, right? Mm-hmm. Acquired from Inland Revenue.
Oh, okay.
3, in order to be paid by the government, example, seed funding, you need a TIN, tax identification number. 4, the Valley Boys are together. What now?
We're hearing conflicting information because earlier there was no split.
No, don't mind him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. They are definitely split.
That was me being
but this is serious, and based on who this person is, that's very serious. Oh boy. Number 5, both sides have said that they would welcome an election. 6, only Brian Adderley-led Valley Boys are registered to rush, which means they will compete, and only Brian-led Valley Boys has the TIN, which means they are eligible to receive seed funding.
I want y'all to know, if this don't get sorted out, there could be a big bus up on Bay Street, most likely.
Don't say that. because that means whatever buzz up. At the end of the day, splits are not new. Groups formed from splits, one family roots, prodigal sons, Genesis. But it's the first time that both the splits are claiming that they are the Valley Boys, though, or the name of the original group. So I don't think we've ever heard of anything like that before, but people will leave
Valley Boys
and
1
form
and
the
2.
new thing, right?
Valley Boys 1 and 2.
Well, people said Valley and Wally, right?
I mean,
Valley and Deep Valley. Maybe that.
oh, Valley and Wally.
Valley and Wally.
That could be a song.
Hey, DeAndre Cartwright, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Dwight, Strachan, thank you for having me.
I'll see you next week.
Yes, no holiday. So,
Right.
by the grace of our Lord, I will be here.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.